Welcome back to Discipline and Dumbbells. I'm your host Spencer Kahn, and today I want to talk about the hardest and most transformative experience of my life. My 140-day, 4.5-month bodybuilding prep for the King Kong 2025 Naturals on November 8th. When I started this prep, I was 198 pounds, I was strong, I was full, but nowhere near stage ready. By the time I stepped on stage, I was 170 pounds, I was peeled, depleted, and the most disciplined I've ever been in my life. And the outcome? I didn't place in novice, I didn't place in true novice, but in the open category against guys who have been competing for years, I placed 5th. I earned a medal and I walked out fucking proud. I was proud not because of my placing, but because of the fucking discipline, the suffering, the sacrifice, and the man that I became along the way. And I did this prep while working as a full-time in-person trainer and an online coach building my business. I wasn't living in a bubble. I wasn't hiding from real life. I was prepping in the middle of real life, and that made these lessons even more powerful. Today I want to break down 5 lessons bodybuilding prep taught me, and these lessons you can take into your own journey, whether you want to get shredded, build a business, or just become the strongest version of yourself. So let's get into it. Number 1, fall in love with the process, not the outcome. When prep started, I was obsessed with that final image, the shredded, the dry look, and the trophy. But something hit me. The outcome, it's 5 minutes on stage. The process is 140 days. If you chase the outcome, you'll crumble long before you get there. It's the daily work that matters. The meals, the cardio, the heavy lifts, the early mornings, the late nights, the low energy. This is what actually shapes you. You don't love prep because it's glamorous. You love it because of who it forces you to become. That's my whole message. Fall in love with the process because that's where the growth, the discipline, and the identity is built, not the outcome. Lesson 2, focus on your own problems, not fixing everyone else's. Before prep, I used to get frustrated watching people say they want to change but never take action. I wasted energy trying to push them, motivate them, fix their habits, and all it did was fucking drain me. Prep taught me something powerful. Other people's lack of action is not your responsibility. You can't force someone to care. You can't drag someone to discipline. You can't want it for them. What you can do is stay locked in on your own goals. When I finally stopped worrying about who wasn't doing the work and started focusing on my execution, my lifts got better, my discipline got sharper, my business grew, and my mindset leveled up. Your job is to handle your shit. Your responsibility is to stay consistent with your progress. Your energy belongs to your goals. When you live that way, you stop resenting other people's inaction and you naturally become the example that they either follow or fall behind. Lesson number 3, consistency creates results. Prep exposes the truth. The difference between an average body and an elite one is consistency. Not motivation, not genetics, not the perfect routine, just showing up every single day. Consistency means hitting 10K steps even when you don't want to, eating the same meals for weeks because they work, training through low energy and high stress, tracking every workout even when progress is slow, and staying locked in even on the most boring days. There were days I felt like a fucking beast, and there were days I could barely keep my eyes open. But I showed up anyways because that's what gets you shredded. Because that's what builds muscle, because that's what makes you disciplined, and that's what earns fucking medals even if you don't win first place. Lesson 4, the bigger the goal, the harder the journey. People see the transformation and they say, damn, I want that, or I want to do a show next year, but they don't see the cost. My prep demanded my appetite, my social life, my comfort, my energy, my patience, my sleep, my sanity at all times, my ability to enjoy food, my ability to relax, my ability to say yes to anything spontaneous. Because the bigger the goal, the bigger the sacrifice. You want elite conditioning? Prepare for elite hunger. You want stage level conditioning? Prepare for stage level suffering. And the crazy part, you learn to love the struggle because you realize if it were easy, then everyone would do it. And the difficulty is what makes it worth it. And lesson number 5, the work you do when no one's watching matters the most. Everyone sees those show day pictures, but nobody sees the nights lying awake from hunger. Nobody sees the breakdown moments after cardio in the car. Nobody sees you trying not to cry over a meal of chicken and rice. Nobody sees the anxiety, the doubt, the pressure, but that invisible work, that's where champions are made. Success isn't built on the stage, it's revealed on the stage. It's built in the dark, It's built in silence, and it's built in moments when your discipline is your only witness. If you can hold yourself accountable when no one's watching, you will fucking dominate when everyone is. So let's wrap this up. Here are 5 lessons that prep beat into me. Fall in love with the grind, because that's where the magic happens. Your growth accelerates when you stop trying to fix everyone else. Consistency is the greatest natural steroid of all time. Big goals demand big sacrifice, and your private discipline creates your public results. This prep changed the way I move, the way I think, the way I train, and the way I live. I hope these lessons push you to raise your standards in your own life, and if this episode fired you up, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Make sure you subscribe because I'm dropping 5 episodes every week to keep your discipline sharp. This is Spencer Kahn, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.